Bro,
Fat boy, what you doing?
he caught me mid stuff of a ham and cheese rolled up.
You are the definition of a rolled up ham and cheese.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
So I'm all talked out on WrestleMania. We can't do that anymore. I'm done with that topic. Uh,
No, I can't either.
Also, I think I'll be honest with you. I'll be really honest. It's hard to gauge these things. So there's very little science behind this.
Right?
But I did glance at our downloads, and they're way down on the two episodes where the word WrestleMania is in the title.
Oh God. Yeah. So let's not do that anymore.
It's like people like, they're gonna. I know ahead of time they're gonna talk about not even like not even so much
Right.
tell wrestling stories because those are entertaining, and you don't have to be into wrestling to be amused by a wrestling story because
Right.
there's some fucked up shit that goes on in the wrestling world. But for us to just be talking about a show and analyzing it and fucking be amateur talking heads, I think people are like, keep that to a minimum, my friends. Keep that to a minimum.
Yeah. Let's not talk about WrestleMania then. Well, we talked it anyway. We're done. We
Yeah,
got
no, I'm
nothing
just
left.
saying. I listen. Like, it's not like we couldn't talk about AEW last night or whatever. But
Let's not
yeah, let's. Okay.
step back from that.
I'm all talked out on wrestling. We did. I don't know how much of this you want to share on the air,
Mhm.
but we did have an amusing kind of conversation
Oh no, I want to share it, my friend,
amongst
because
amongst the two of us earlier. How we both have
yeah,
kind of come to Jesus independently, but at the same time here.
right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, what happened was I called you to tell you, you know, I updated you on my time because I was being courteous.
Right.
And,
Schedule time for the
for once.
podcast if people are
Right.
confused.
And I was driving home. And it was a 2 hour drive, sitting in traffic. And, I, like, today, let me tell you, I'll give you a little backstory here because I didn't tell you this part. So I, I felt fine this morning, like $1,000,000. Got my usual Starbucks, they give me my by name greeting. They know my order. It's like Cheers. Uh, Felt great. At lunchtime, a guy that is like he's like we're like the same level but different positions. Calls and says, "Hey, where you at?" And I told him where I was. He says, "Oh, I'm headed that way. You want to go to lunch?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." I said, "Where do you want to go?" He goes, "Meet me at Buffalo Wild Wings."
B
So
Dubs.
I'm like, "Right, there's no problem with Buffalo
Well,
Wild Wings. They've
hold
got
on, hold on, hold on. Can I just say,
what?
I think B Dubs is terrific. I love going there. I like eating. Like some of the food is pretty good.
Right,
I like some of
it
the
is.
sauces and the wings and yada
Right,
yada.
me too.
But I'm not gonna lie and say that I think 9 out of every 10 times I go to Buffalo Wild Wings, I end up with the worst fucking heartburn I've ever had in my life.
So I'll get there. Hold on. So I say, yeah, I meet him over there, and I was gonna be modest, and I was gonna order the 6 boneless wings with French fries. It's a lunch combo, and the guy says, "Well, today is buy six get six free." I'm like, fuck, and like I said, hold on, let me think about it. And the other guy ordered. He went full force 12. Buy the six get six
Well,
free.
wait a minute,
He
wait a minute,
weighs
wait a
like
minute, wait a minute. I mean, if you were ordering six anyways, what are you saying?
right,
I don't
right.
want the free six. Hold the free six.
I would almost change my order to a cheeseburger because
Okay.
I was like, man, this is I don't know, it's a lot of wings. So
Yeah, but
I've had them before. They're big.
to
They're
be honest,
gigantic
to me, boneless
buffalo,
wings are like chicken nuggets. You should have more than
but they
six.
don't give you
Six is like
they give
child
you
size.
right, but they give you big ones there. They don't play. This
I
ain't Chick-fil-A. So I I said, you know what? I'll take the six. What the six free, the fries. I got a water,
Plus now you
because I'm
can
watching my weight.
you can do like two sauces.
Well, so here's what I did. I said, I'm going to be complicated. I want garlic parmesan.
Delicious.
I said, and you guys they don't have honey hot. I like honey hot. And I said, can you can you mix honey barbecue and hot sauce? He said, yeah. So I got honey barbecue, hot sauce, and garlic parmesan mixture. Like I was going triple heartburn here. I was going for it. That was it. Uh, so got the ranch dressing and the fries
Oh,
come and
ranch.
I went ranch today. I usually go blue cheese. I went ranch today. Went
Do I
ranch.
do I need to quote the great one? The great Joey
What?
Diaz?
What does he say?
Blue cheese on your wings or go fuck your mother.
Well, last time I went to this B
I
Dubs, the
have a
blue cheese was
T-shirt that
awful.
says that on it.
Do you really?
I fucking I do.
That's funny. So I got ranch anyway. I They come and their six boneless wings were like the 12 they gave me were like probably equivalent to like 18 because they were absolutely fucking gigantic. So I power through the first like eight and the fries, and I'm like I'm hurting. But the guy that I'm with weighs like probably 110 pounds, and he fucking powered through it all. And I was like, I am not letting no mama didn't raise no bitch. I am not letting this little skinny fuck out eat me today. It's not happening. Like I'm a fat guy. I have to eat the same he eats. So I powered through. I finished it. But I immediately regretted it. Like within minutes of finishing.
Yeah.
I was the heartburn, my stomach was so bloated, it was like a rock. I had to go walk into the store after. So I'm like, my stomach was so bloated and rock hard that my shirt, it was like it was hovering like off my stomach. Like I'm that guy now where like it doesn't even cover my stomach; it just hovers above it. Like you can if I don't pull it down, you can see the bottom of my stomach creeping out, like looking around, like what's going on out there.
That always
You
reminds
know what
me.
I'm talking about?
Well, did I ever tell you the story of my friend that lost his job at Burger King because he was so
No.
fat that every time he would reach up to grab something, his belly would pop out the bottom of his shirt, and they just
Oh
they
my
fired
god.
him over that. I mean, we're talking like this was like in the fucking late '80s,
Never
early
happened these
'90s.
days.
So,
Right.
right now, that's a lawsuit.
Right.
But back then,
Right.
he got
Right.
fired because his belly just kept. It was like unsanitary. His belly kept popping out every time he reached above his fucking head for something.
I'm at that point. Like I can't put my
But
arms up.
but he was
Like
like he worked at the he this was like his second job. He worked at the comic
right.
book store. This was like our little community. Like you could
So
have
he
done
was
a
like comic book guy. Is that what
well,
you
he
were
was
saying?
a little bit, except he was like a grunt. He wasn't like the
Right.
guy that owned the shop. I actually for a year or two, I rented a house with the guy who owned the store.
Right.
But this guy Bill, he was he became like the mascot of the store. Imagine like a kind of a tall, fat guy, but he was like all belly, and
Right.
he became such a mascot of the store. They used him in all the advertising, and I think John, the owner of the store, actually bought his likeness, paid him for his likeness, and owns his likeness.
Wow.
When they would have guest artists come in to do signings and sketches and stuff, they would fly people, and you as like a collector, you'd be like you get all these artists in, you're like, oh, I'll get everyone to draw Batman for me. I'll have a Batman collection of drawings. No, his collection was drawings of his employee Bill.
That's
And so
hilarious.
then they would use it in the advertising. I'm just trying to illustrate what this guy looked like. So he was tall, bald, wore glasses, and was fat. But it was the kind of fat like he was all belly, and it was the kind of like gimmick where he would lift it and drop it on your head, and we used to call it the fat bag. And like they would just torture him. They would like part of the fun of having him work for you was like lighting his shoe on fire when he wasn't looking, or or
Oh my god, are
or
you serious?
or freezing his eyeglasses in a brick of ice, or just like
Oh my god.
just like it was constant torture. But it was like the mid to late '80s. It was fucking
It
tremendous.
was acceptable, right?
There's so many videotapes somewhere of just torturing the guy and fucking with him and whatever. But he was also the center of the attention, so it was fun for him
Right,
too
right, right,
when
right.
he wasn't getting burned or whatever. So yeah,
Oh my
so
god, that's hilarious.
yeah, so I just wanted to create the visual of this guy and like
I
imagine
have this
him
visual in my head that's like totally crazy right now.
imagine, but also imagine him now in a Burger King uniform, reaching for the
Right.
fucking like the reaching for something above him, and the big fat bag belly coming flopping out.
Well, let me tell you. So I decided that my my tank tops I had, they call them what do they call them? White beaters, no, which is probably not politically correct anymore. But
I think that's still like an acceptable name for it,
right.
because
So
yeah.
well, they're too short now. Like the stomach is getting so. I've had to start wearing my tank tops, like my Breakfast Club tank top underneath my shirt, because I can't wear no shirt underneath it because we'll be just walking around with little fat belly hanging out. So I've been wearing long. So I'm so unprofessional because this long tank top and then a polo shirt over it, and the tank top hangs lower than, and I don't tuck it in because who fucking tucks in their pants? When you're fat, you can't tuck in your pants. You look like Jabba the Hutt. It's weird. Like your belly's just
I'm pick
protruding. It's bad. It's
you're
bad.
you're kind of doing the Kevin Owens gimmick
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
with the
There's no
singlet
doubt.
under his t-shirt, because
T-shirt.
his t-shirt
Right.
ain't gonna provide full coverage 24% of,
Right.
I mean,
Right.
like, not 24, 100% of the time.
Right.
24% of the time when he's on his back on the outside of the ring, his belly would be hanging out if he wasn't wearing that black singlet underneath.
Right. So I've resorted to that now.
Which
Like
is
today, I'm wearing.
which is very
You
clever.
know.
I'm sorry, I don't want to cut you off one more time, but it's very clever because it
Oh,
eliminates
it is.
something that annoys the shit out of me, which is when you see wrestlers that have just taken a massive bump, like fixing their outfit a little bit
Yeah.
when they're
Pushing their
supposed to be
putting their
like
shirt down.
knocked unconscious or hurt or
Right.
whatever. Last thing you're thinking of is, oh, let me tug my shirt down because my stomach's hanging out.
Right.
So
Right. Right.
that
I've been that guy
completely
before.
eliminates. Yeah, of course you have. That completely eliminates you breaking that one little like bit of like fantasy there.
Right. 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 Yeah. So I've been wearing these tank tops underneath because it's just there's no choice. But so we leave this Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm like, I'm hurt, man. Like I'm so hurt. I got in my car to drive to the store, which is like a mile down the road, and I got out and I said, I'm like embarrassed to go in because I feel like I'm fatter than I was last week, and it's noticeable. It looks like I'm like the shirt's too tight. I'm busting out of the seams here. Like it looks like I'm wearing a baby Gap shirt. Like I shouldn't be wearing this shirt.
Right.
Uh, but this shirt fit a couple weeks ago, so I don't know what's going on. But
Someone put
yeah,
something in your laundry detergent to make a
right.
thing shrink.
So
What the hell?
I'm like, then I started, was driving. Well, at the store, I told you this. I walked up the stairs because they have an elevator, but I never like taking the elevator because I'm like, I'm gonna be the healthy guy. I got up the stairs, which is about 15, 16 steps. I literally had to take a break for a second to catch my wind to continue on to the office because I didn't want to walk in the office like, hey, hey. That's number one. And number two, I literally couldn't even, I had to take a break because I was like, oh my God, I'm fucking winded. Like, I can't continue. Like, I
Have
had to, like, just stand in one spot for a minute and catch my breath.
with your hands on your hips, kind of like.
Yeah, I was leaning on the wall. So, yeah, this is like, I'm like, this
you're
is bad. This
you're
is bad.
you're Fatty McGee from the Adam Sandler comedy album. Remember that?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Where he was just
I
wheezing and wheezing.
That's how I was. I was wheezing, leaning on the wall, like if anybody came up there, they would have thought, like, "Are you okay? Like, you need an ambulance?" Because I was like, "Hey, hey," like, yeah. And yeah, I was like, "This is bad." So when I got in the car to drive home, I was a 2 hour drive. Well, about an hour and I don't know, 40 minutes in, I called you
Yeah.
to tell you that I was, running a little late, but
Mm.
I said, give me some time because I have to get inside to take my pants off because my belt, I'm wearing jeans. My belt was digging into my stomach while I was driving. And you're like, why don't you, what did you call it?
Well, at first I said, why don't you just unbuckle it and, and open your pants up? You're
Right.
in the car by yourself, just like, whatever. And you're like, I can't reach. I
I
can't.
can't even get it.
Yeah, like your stomach was obstructing like your access to the belt.
It was.
And so I said, well, why don't you do since you're stopped in traffic, like throw it in park and kind of do like the partial stand up in in the seat while you're, like as if you had to scratch your ass where you put your feet on the floorboard and kind of raise yourself up above the seat so you can get, and then maybe that'll, and you were like, I already tried.
Get it. I couldn't get it. My stomach was too. It was hanging. Yeah, it wasn't happening. It wasn't happening. It
And you,
wasn't. I couldn't get it.
wait, so you said you were thinking about just getting out of the
I
car
was.
entirely on the highway and just
Right.
just unbuckling it. Did you do that or did you suffer?
No, no, because traffic started moving, and I was like,
Oh.
okay, I can make it. But I shifted. I did a little shift where I took the tank top I have and the shirt I'm wearing, and I tucked it as a border between in my underwear. So now you've got the belt had to go through underwear and two shirts to get to my fat stomach. So I literally had my shirt tucked into my underwear just so the belt would stop digging into me,
Yeah, I've had that.
digging my
I
stomach.
knew exactly that pain when you were talking about it. I've experienced
I
that
knew you
before.
would know,
Yeah, oh yeah.
right? I
Not
was
that
like,
I've
this guy's gonna know the pain.
not that I've worn pants and a belt since probably let me think. Probably
Your dad's wedding.
my dad's wedding like 6 months
Yeah,
ago or 10 months ago,
right,
whatever it was.
right.
So I don't even think that's a reality now. I've been elastic band shorts for a while. But yeah, I'm. I think you
But
and I.
and I'm like I look, and then I had at work I was feeling shitty, and I had to go to the bathroom, and I just stopped and looked in the mirror, and there was nobody in the bathroom but me, and I just looked at my side profile, and I was like, oh my god, like what the fuck? My stomach comes out further than my chest, like it's just, I mean, like it's disgusting. Like I don't know what happened. I really don't know what happened.
I mean, we do know what happened. Both of us know what happened. We know what
Yeah,
happened.
well, fuck, can't stop eating. That's what happened.
So I've had the same. Late the last couple of days. I've just felt like total shit, and I just had the uh,
Yeah.
same like moment where I I probably did have a moment in front of the mirror. I don't really remember it, but yeah, I don't even want to get on the scale.
No,
I
I'm not.
I
No.
don't want to know. I don't. I mean, although it might be entertaining for us both to hop on the scale right this fucking second and come back with some like devastating fucking statistics.
Right. Well, I almost thought, well, if I gain 20 pounds, I should just tell Speedy I won because I got to 20 faster.
Yeah, wrong direction though.
Wrong direction.
Right.
And I was doing so good. I was down like 8 pounds, and I don't even know what has changed because I'm not eating any more than I was when I lost 8 pounds. I'm still walking, lifting weights occasionally, not every day. Uh, I don't know what it is. I
Mm.
really don't. I think I do know actually. I started drinking Dr. Pepper. I think that's the culprit here.
Like not
Dr.
diet,
Pepper.
not diet.
No, fuck a diet.
Diet Dr Pepper's good, man.
It's not even. I don't think it's the sugar. I think it's the carbonation that makes me feel so fucking bloated and like I can't be drinking
No,
soda. It's sad.
it's also the you now you're drinking a drink with like I don't know how many calories are in a soda with sugar in it, but it's not
Yeah.
it ain't good news, dude. No matter
No.
what you're doing, no matter how many walks around the block you take and how many
Right.
weights you lift, if you're drinking fucking sugar sodas, you're not
Uh,
you're never gonna.
well, and like I that moment I looked in the mirror and I saw my stomach and I literally looked at myself and I'm like, I look like I look like the typical like fat dad who used to be an athlete and like now is just fat like dad. And I'm like, even my clothes, I was like, they fit like a dad. Like this is just disgusting. Like
Yeah,
it's disgusting,
yeah. So
disgusting.
yeah, I related to when you felt like you were too fat to even want to walk into the place. I was like
Right.
I feel that way like for the gym, even the community one here in my
Right.
apartment complex. I'm like that guy. Like I'm like I can't go to the gym looking like this, and I'm like that's especially when I'm supposed to go to the gym when I'm looking like this. But I'm like
Right.
I want to get in a gym shape first, which is like probably 20 to 30 pounds lighter than I am now. I don't want to be the guy in the gym where one guy nudges the other, nods at him, and they both look, and it's like, well, at least he's in here trying. You know what I mean? And like, I know I'm nowhere near that size, but I feel that size. Like we all have
Right.
the
Well,
like,
and we talked about that today. Is like I don't understand. Like I fucking Howard Brody.
right?
He's a heavy guy.
No, no.
Like,
Howard Brody is grotesquely obese compared to us, but yet he's
right,
well,
yeah, but I see a guy. Okay, this guy at work.
yeah.
He's large. He's got to be two of me. And I'm like, okay, this guy. He's got energy. He's moving around. I'm like, how the I'm probably 150 pounds less than him. I can't do some of the stuff he does, and I'm like, how is he getting away with it? Why did God
Is
bless him
that
with this, or whoever created him?
so? This is
Like,
just a spontaneous armchair theory here. Uh, do you think he's just been that big for so long that his body's adjusted to it? That's what I'm afraid
right,
of.
but like,
That we're going to
right,
start adjusting to our new
too.
size, and then
So
it'll
do
be
you know what's
like
funny though? Did
what?
you say that?
Yeah.
So like, I've been in the 270 range now for quite a while, like a year. Uh, I feel like the last few days I didn't realize I was in the 270 range because I adjusted to it. And I was like, I could work out, I could walk. I shot some hoops the other day. But the last few days, it's like I took a turn for the worse. And I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm in the 270 range now. Like I didn't feel like that
Yeah.
for a while.
But also remember when we were both losing some weight,
Right?
and we were significantly lighter than we are now, and we were like
Right?
doing like keto or something, and then we would have like a bad weekend of food, and we would feel
Right?
like terrible afterwards.
Right?
It's like
Terrible.
now all we do is eat what made us feel terrible 30 pounds ago, but we don't like notice feeling bad because we're probably feeling bad all the time. So that's the new normal. I think
Right.
that's what we're doing to ourselves right now. And
Well, it's
so,
like, like, yeah, you're right.
so
You're
yeah,
right.
so that's, I'm kind of like, I've come to the realization that I have to do something because not because I necessarily feel rotten or whatever, but it's like
Right.
like with you, the clothes aren't fitting, the belt's digging into you.
Right.
It's not like your personal physical thing is bugging you. It should be, but you've gotten used to it. And I think it's the same with me. I think with me, it's like it's like I can't. My arms are short and I'm round around the middle now. I can't reach the middle of my back. I can't. I can't reach. It's harder to fucking reach down and put my shoes on in time. And so
Right.
I'm like thinking, you bring up Howard. Howard's a lot bigger than us. And I'm like, how does he fucking do all this? How the fuck?
Right.
I mean, has he just gotten like little fucking
Well,
little grabber arm gadgets, extensions and things and
I don't know, but that's what I'm
shoehorns
saying.
and
How do these people live? Why are we struggling? So maybe they've just adapted and we haven't yet.
I'm looking at a guy
I don't
over
want to adapt anymore.
I'm borderline at the point where I'm gonna have to start worrying about hygiene issues if I gain another 30 pounds. I'm like, how am I gonna reach my
Right.
ass? And I'm looking at guys like like I'm looking
Right.
at guys that are 100 pounds heavier than me, and I'm going, is that guy walking around with shit ass all day? Like, how is that guy
Right.
like how does that guy get his shoes on? How is like, because I'm having problems and I'm nowhere near his size. So I'm like getting nervous and I'm like, I don't want to get to that size and be that person where I have to hire someone to come over to like fucking cut my toenails or something. It's
I
very
just don't want to feel shitty anymore.
well, but
So.
I also don't want to get to a point.
Right.
I feel like you and I are not at a point of no return. I think but we can now see it on the horizon, and we're like, maybe we don't want to get there, because
I mean, it hurts.
you
I'm
see,
actually hurting in the last couple days.
because look, I'll name a name, Barrington Hughes, guy
Right?
is like a I don't know, does he still wrestling? I don't even know, but he was an
Uh,
independent wrestler on the scene down here, and I'm like, he's like a really big fat guy, and part of the appeal is that you can book him as a monster. He's not going to do much in the ring for you because he's a big fat guy, and he's not athletic. But you can do like the circus spectacle kind of thing with him, where like for a couple of
but if he's booked right, you can do it right.
you can, but after a while, he's limited in what he can do. So you could book him as a monster that squashes people for a little while, but then that story becomes David and Goliath, and once the first guy realizes you can just out cardio him, and he'll get winded after 3 minutes, and that's how you beat the big guy in the ring. Then you've destroyed the big guy, and you can't use him anymore. I always thought his shit was limited in what you could do with him because of that. Um, so
Right.
when he like, I mean, he was really big. I don't know how big, if he was 400 pounds, maybe. I'm guessing 350, 400, something like that. Maybe bigger. I don't know. But I remember when and look, I'm just using an example. I'm not shitting on the guy. But when the guy came up and was like, hey, man, I've lost 50 pounds, you couldn't tell. That's how big he was. You couldn't tell. And so I don't want to be at that point is the cautionary tale that I remember from seeing that guy. It's like, if you or I lost 50 pounds right now, it would be a drastic, noticeable improvement. People would notice, and our lives would change. Like, we'd feel more comfortable. We'd feel healthier, feel happier. I don't want to like go past the point of no return where I'm the example I just mentioned, Barrington, where the guy's lost 50 fucking pounds. That's like what a, like, how much does your daughter weigh? Like, it's like,
Right.
it's a small person. And nothing's changed in my life. Nothing still fits. I still have to shop in specialty shops.
But I can't even get to the
still,
point. Here's my
I would
problem,
still
though.
get winded walking up the stairs, all that shit. I'm at the point where it's like, I don't want to get there. And I feel like if I go another year, there's going to be a problem. So let's
If I go another year, I'm 300 plus. Like, there's no doubt.
bro,
I'm in the threes.
we don't know
And
that.
all mine is in my stomach. It's not even like I'm like, where the fuck? It's all in my stomach. My arms aren't fat. My legs aren't fat.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question here, though. Do you think you're at an all-time high if you were to get on a scale right now?
I gotta be close.
So if you're at an all-time high, let's just say, or you're really close, you're already within what? Like you're under 20 pounds to 300 as it is. How many pounds did you gain in the
I'm close.
How much did you gain in the last year? You were down to 220 at one point.
I was, yeah.
So, I mean, you couldn't put another 60 on in the next year? You'd be close to 330 by this time next year at the rate you're going.
I don't want to get to that.
Don't tell me about 300. You know what I mean?
I feel.
I mean, I'm like
so
borderline busting your balls, but also like, let's be realistic. The two of us.
Oh no, I know, right. The two of us are a combined weight of like 800 pounds at this point. I mean, realistically,
not that much,
we're
but
probably close to 600 combined pounds.
I mean,
let's be real.
We're
close.
We're closer to 5 than 6, that for sure.
I don't know about that, pal.
I do. I do. So, I didn't say we're under 5. I just said we're closer. We're under 550 is what I'm saying, the two of us. So
this is brutal.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, I don't know. I didn't want this to be like I feel like we're having a 2-man mutual intervention. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, maybe our listeners will help get on us here because
There's
this is bad.
I don't know how there's any accountability with the listeners. These listeners are evil. They're going to send us pictures of cakes and pies and maybe some pizzas in the are going to get delivered to our houses. That's what happens. That's what happens with our listeners.
Uh,
So,
this is bad. It's bad. It's embarrassing. It's bad. I don't even want to go. I don't even want to go out in public.
yeah, why do you think I got invited to Adrian's fucking house for one night of WrestleMania? I'm like, I don't, yeah, no, same thing. I don't want to be the fat guy on the couch, constantly like tugging his shirt down. Uh,
Oh, it's so bad.
yeah. So
Yeah. So I don't know. So what are you saying? You're going on a diet?
I'm saying I haven't eaten at all today, and I'm gonna see how that goes for like a week, and then
I don't know if that's the answer though.
it is short term. Uh, and then I saw a guy. Okay, and here's my strategy. I wanna do a long fast because I don't feel healthy, and part of that
Mm,
isn't just from being fat. It's from the COVID I had like 3 4 months ago. Like last night,
right.
I went to bed, and an hour and a half later, I was up coughing, and I couldn't go to sleep for another 2 hours, and then I got 4 or 5 more hours in. Uh, and there's something still fucked up with my lungs. My lungs hurt every time I cough, still, et cetera, et cetera. It's been 3 plus months. Uh, so I know fasting when you go do a long fast, there's some there's some very good health benefits to it. You create a
Right.
lot of growth hormone. You create a lot of stem cells. Um, and maybe and that autophagy thing happens where damaged and old cells in your body get destroyed and replaced with new ones. So
Right.
I want to try a week of that, like 5 days or something. And then I saw a guy on a TikTok that lost like a ton of weight in a short amount of time, and the only thing he's really done is he eats every other day. So one day on, one day
Mm,
off, and the day he eats, I mean, he's not a fucking savage. It's not like he goes and hits the Arby's drive-through 3 times in a day, but uh,
mm,
but he kind of eats what he wants. He's just still eats a little reasonable, but he's not. It's not diet. Like he's not like keto or this or that or the other. I'm thinking of skipping a day, eating a day, skipping a day, eating a day. When I eat on that day, maybe also try and do keto or not. Maybe I get a fucking pizza.
right.
I don't know. But we'll I'm gonna do a week of this and see what happens. See if I can at least retrain because I used to be able to go a full day, day and a half without eating, without even blinking. So
Right.
I'll see if I can go back to doing this. And I think that helped you lose a lot of weight quickly, and then when you go back to like maybe wanting to eat every day or multiple meals in a day or whatever, just don't be a fucking total pig about it.
Right. You train your body. You know.
Yeah. Or just stop eating the stuff I know that makes me fat. I know carbohydrates make me fat. I know I overeat. I eat too many
Uh,
calories in a day also. So maybe eat
right.
stuff with less calories in it, like fucking heads of cabbage. I don't fucking know. Just make my life miserable. Because
It's brutal though because like I don't want to be that guy who doesn't get to eat good food
well,
because he's
that's
fat.
why I was looking because that's why I was looking at the thing with the guys like I eat one day, I don't eat the next day, so that maybe I
Right.
can kind of incorporate that in and still have my pizza and sushi and Chinese food and
Right.
barbecue and whatever the fuck else I want to eat. Carrot cake and whatever.
Probably have way more energy.
Probably. Well, we would definitely have more energy if we had less fat on us. So
Oh God, feel awful.
this has become a complete fat intervention episode. I don't know if the
Oh,
people.
but
I don't
it's
know
a
if
fat
people are even
intervention with
like.
each other.
But I don't know if people are even appreciating this at this point. They're like, we've once we stopped with the embarrassing fat stories about ourselves, people like, I don't want to hear about your fucking how you're gonna go about it because we know you're not gonna go about it anyways. Nobody, no, listen. I have all good intentions, but it's been. I ate like at midnight last night,
Right.
and it's almost 7 p.m. now. So I've gone 12, 19 hours. I'm fucking white knuckling it. All I want to do is like, I don't know, like just eat anything. And I saw Pop Tarts in my cabinet. I want to go eat fucking how many
You're at that level right now. You
how
want to
many
eat anything.
how many Pop Tarts come in a box? Two, four, six,
Yeah,
like 10 or
6.
12. I'm like white knuckling it, trying not to eat a whole box of Pop Tarts right now.
Just do it.
No, see, this is the problem. Also, you and I are not encouraging each other to do the right thing.
No, no. And then we got Billy posting pictures of good looking food.
Oh, what was that? He had like country fried steak. He had like
Yeah, he did.
this fucking guy, this old motherfucker, this fucking bitter fucking rotten fruit on the tree.
Right.
He's posting a picture and it's a steak dipped in batter, then fried, and then drowned in gravy. The most delicious,
Literally, yeah.
and it's. I mean, I think you'll agree with me. That's the most delicious thing on the fucking planet.
Right.
A country fried steak like that. I mean, phenomenal. But it just like randomly like got that at a restaurant while he was out drinking one night and decided not only to post a picture but to tag you and me in it and call us fat while
Right.
he's eating.
I'm sleeping and this guy's calling me fat. Right. Eating country fried steak.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It was yeah. That's why I think our new. I think he may be our new internet feud. I think you and I need to start just
You
fucking.
think so?
I think we need to say fuck it and just start going to war with him.
Why are you saying we? Don't throw me in this.
He. What do you mean? Why don't what,
Do.
he's attacking us collectively. He didn't just
That guy
tag me
can
in
do.
that photo. He tagged you too.
I don't know how he gets away with
I
it
don't know
though.
why I'm the brave one when I'm within fucking like I'm within driving distance of him to
There
come
you
and
are.
kick my ass, and you're a whole state away, and you're the chicken shit. You're the one. You're the one. You went toe to toe with him in the ring, lived to speak about it, and yet you're still the fucking chicken shit, and I'm the one, you know, trying to be brave and stand up to this food bully.
Fuck him.
There we go. There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
Fuck that guy.
I got him
Eating
back.
fried,
I got you
drinking
back.
beers and eating country fried steak while we're sitting here. I feel like I got diabetes
Here's the other
creeping
thing.
in.
He's giving me the business every now and then about never coming and hanging out and going out. And I'm like thinking, just let me put 2 weeks together where I can fucking improve myself and fit into something to wear to go hang out with you. And then when I go hang out with you,
Right.
I know I'm going to get bullied. Like, I know it's not going to be like, hey, Billy, I'm here to hang out. You're my friend. I just want to hang. It's going to be like, no, motherfucker. You're going to drink shots with me. Sugary fucking liquory shots. And then, no, motherfucker. I'm
Right.
ordering fucking loaded tater tots for the table. And you got to eat them. Like when we had our little memorial thing with Jackie and I was trying to diet. He bullied me into eating food that night too. I know, you know. Damned if you do, damned if you don't with that cocksucker, that old bastard.
You know, he said, "Fuck that guy. He's a pusher. He's what is he like? 67 years old. He looks like a
At
million
least,
bucks.
at least he does look like he's
Mhm.
35 still. I'll give him that.
Right, right. He does. Way better shape. Even if we put mine and you bodies together, he's still in better shape. He's
Well,
just
putting yours and my bodies together doesn't make it
may actually go
anything
backwards. Yeah,
better.
right.
I think that just
He
makes shit worse.
probably. Yeah, he is in great shape. He plays. What does he play? Some old man sport every morning.
Oh,
Pickleball. What does he play?
and he play handball or something.
Handball, pickleball. I don't know.
Yeah, one of those.
Right. Rides his bike. Yeah. You know that guy. He's got some nerve.
A lot of nerve.
Yeah. But I don't understand why we weren't graced with his genetics where he can eat a country fried steak and drink 14 beers and be like, yeah, I'll be up in the morning playing back. Like, you know, I'm in great shape. Me, I look at a Dorito and I gain 12 pounds. Bullshit. Absolute bullshit.
I mean, in all honesty, neither of us are looking at a Dorito and gaining 20 pounds. I mean, with you, it's eating fucking whatever you want all day long, and then also making TikToks for eating fucking British
Chocolate.
chocolates and fucking. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna keep? What is your game plan? I told you mine.
I
And
don't have a game plan. If I had a game plan, I wouldn't be in this situation.
I feel like you did for a little while. You're like, oh, I'll just start working out and I'll still eat what I want and that'll be enough. And obviously, you've been gaining weight since then because you decided to add
No, oh,
Dr
no. Well,
Pepper to
well
your
here,
regimen.
no, but here goes. Here, I didn't tell you this part. I also like haven't lifted a weight in like 10 days, and that's when I started feeling bad again. So I think it's if I continued to lift and do cardio, I would be fine. But I stopped. I stopped because like one day I hurt my shoulder, and I was like, oh, I'll take a day off. Well, one day turned into 10.
Yeah,
I haven't touched a weight. I haven't done anything. It may even be longer than 10 days, quite honestly. So
good,
yeah, that's what
good. I
happened.
listen. I feel good because I feel like even if we're not making it official, I now feel like I'm in a race with you again. I'm in some kind of competition with you to like like I just like neither even if you weigh 50 pounds more than me, I'm still too much overweight to really give you the business and to like say like you're the fat one in the group.
Right, right, right. It's the unknown right now. We don't even know.
Right. So and
Right,
and you're taller than me, so like body
right.
mass indexes and whatever, I may be the fatter one because I'm shorter. Who the fuck knows? But I may have like a higher percentage of like fat to muscle ratio. But I feel like now I'm motivated, especially since you have no game plan. You really tipped your hat there by saying you have no game plan. To
Oh,
like
zero.
to like get a at least get a like a sprinting head start
Well,
on
but
you.
but even like I'm not making excuses, but I am.
No, you
I
totally
was
are. You
I was
totally are.
doing good.
My arm
I got
hurts.
hurt.
My arm hurts.
Right, but that's not even the pollen started rolling in. I
Oh,
have the worst allergies. My gym is in the garage. It's covered in pollen.
take a
So this
Benadryl, you
weekend,
bitch.
my plan is to I'm gonna blow it out, get all this pollen out of here. I'm dying. I'm dying. I sound like you don't hear. I sound like stuffy. So my eyes are watering. I got to clean this place out. I got to get back on it because I do not. I don't want to be Howard Brody. I don't want to be. I don't want to be that guy.
Now,
So
I'm going to do my once a week. Uh, Ask the question: Have you
uh,
have you reached out to book either a Paul Jones or a Howard Brody for the show?
I have not talked to Paul and I've not talked to Howard because
It's funny because
I don't answer.
after
He
last
called. Listen, he
let
called twice. I didn't answer the
well
phone.
last time we talked about this, you're like, I'll call. I'm going to call him tonight and ask him, and
So
then
so I
and
will tell you, Paul was out of town. I do
uh-huh,
know that
uh-huh,
Paul was out of town.
mhm.
But
Right,
Howard
Paul.
called me twice.
Right, I've seen Paul out of town, sitting in his hotel room, totally available to talk on the phone. So I
Yeah, he's
don't.
busy.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
But
right,
Howard,
right.
I don't answer the phone when Howard calls because I don't want to sit on the phone for like sometimes you're on the phone with him and it's silence. And I'm like, all right, well I gotta go and then literally no talking, like silence, right? We're role play, silence, right? And then you go, all right, well yeah, I got some stuff to do. And then he starts telling a story. I'm like, you just didn't say anything for 2 minutes. Then when I want to go, you decide to start talking, and then it'll quiet down, and you're like, all right, here's my chance. You're like, all right, well, I got some stuff to do. He'll be like, that other guy is, and I'm like, why does he wait to tell the story when I start to say I got to go? Like when it's quiet, he's not saying anything. And then I am not even kidding you. 9 times out of 10, he has to go because he's getting another call, and it's usually Blake calling him back, and then Blake will be like, "I'm on the phone." So that's the thing. Anytime Howard calls one of us, we text each other and go on the phone.
Mm.
You on the phone, you know what it means. You're on the phone with Howard. You don't have to say who you're on the phone. You just go on the phone. You know it's Howard. And Blake will be like on the phone, and I always am like, "Yeah, I know. You just got. I thank you. You saved me from a 28-minute fucking silent conversation." Uh,
I
but there's been a couple of times where I've called Howard back, and Blake's like, "Thank God you just saved me." I'm like, "Fuck, are we the only two people he talks to? Like, I don't even know."
You might be the only ones that
Ridiculous.
still answer his calls. I think my theory is one of two things. One, he's a little lonely out there in Vegas.
Right.
And so he likes, even if he like, even if you're not holding up your end of the conversation, and then you want to like split, he then immediately is like starts talking again to like keep you on. Or two, he's like doing something else while he's talking to you, like being on on the
I think
computer
that,
or
right.
something, and then he starts reading something or whatever, and since you're not talking, and he kind of loses track of the time, and then when you pop up with all right, I'm gonna go, he realizes he's on the phone with you again, and and goes back to talking. So yeah.
Oh, he's so, motherfucker. Yeah, he's the worst. The worst. So,
But I would like to
yeah.
hear a couple stories from him.
I'm sure he's got great stories, right?
Right.
So,
If nothing
I,
else,
I,
his side of a few we've told would be good. Uh,
I just got to have like 30 minutes of time to call him because you got to have that block ready just in case. So,
even just to
you
book him
know.
on the show. Why don't you
Oh, man,
Why don't you text
you
him?
don't.
Can't
Oh, no, you don't. You don't text him. You text him, he calls you.
right. Well,
If you okay, here's how it works. I'm
yeah,
going to tell you right
yeah.
now.
You
You
should
text
just
him, he
text him
calls
and
you.
go. I'm in church right now. Can't talk.
I'm in
Can you do
church.
the show?
You text him, he calls you. You like a Facebook post, he calls you. You comment on a Facebook post, he calls you. Right?
uh,
You can't do any of that because you're an automatic. You don't know how many times I I like something and then realize it was his post and unlike it because I'm like, oh, I hope he didn't see it. I hope he didn't see it because and then you wait a couple minutes and he doesn't call. You go, oh, he didn't see it.
well,
Thank God.
how long of a grace period do you think you get on like these social medias when you like to unlike something where it doesn't they don't get a notice?
I don't know.
I
I'm
really
hoping
would
that by
like
the time he sees it, that it's like buried in other notices.
well
He
I
wouldn't notice it anyway. You know.
right, but I would like to know what that is because I want to know like it's like a 5 second rule of like dropping food on the floor.
Right.
You know,
Right.
it's like this liking and then like oh shit, I don't want them to like know I'm like I even saw this or I don't want to be engaged in this or I don't want a Howard Brody call or whatever it is. How much time do you get? I think that's something everyone would like to know. I might have to look into that. I might have to look into that.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
curious.
but with him, it's almost like you. I mean, you got to be like, if you like a post and don't unlike it quick enough, the call to you is coming within under 60 seconds. Like
Jesus.
he is so quick with it. I'm like, oh my God. He'll be like,
That's
oh, you saw that? And I'm like, how the
this
fuck
is
did that even
but
happen?
like for that kind of response time, he's really got nothing going on. He's not doing anything.
No, he must have it pulled up on his computer though, is my thing. You know?
I don't know.
So while he's working, because he works on his computer, but he's quick with the quick with the call. Like, I mean, and sometimes he posts something that is really good, and I really want to comment or I really want to like it, and I'm like, I can't do it. Like, I'm sorry, I like it, and I have a really funny comment, but I'm gonna refrain from doing it. I don't want my phone to ring.
You should you should just like every time you comment on one of his things, you should preface it
Don't
with "Don't call me," but
don't call me.
and then give your
Right,
take on it. Yeah.
right. Because it's just God, he's quick with it. Yeah. So can't you can't you got to be careful with your interactions with him.
I mean,
So
apparently, because but you and Blake both kind of definitely
I
have
think we're
this.
the only two.
No, but I'm saying you both kind of come with the same fucking accounts when it comes to
Right.
that. Uh,
And then, like, if you don't, so the funny part is if it's something on a Facebook post or it's fun, if I don't answer, or he and Blake doesn't answer, I'll get the text from JoJo going, "Why is Howard calling me?" So I'm like, "What are you? Must be third in rotation because, like, why would he call? He calls him next, and but JoJo never answers. So I'm like, you don't even ever answer. Why would he continue to keep you in the rotation? Like, hoping one day you do,
well,
you know?
maybe there's not much of a rotation.
Can't be,
Yeah.
can't be. So. Yeah, I don't know, but I will I'll work on it. I'll work on it. I just got to remember when I talk to them
Yeah,
to get them on.
yeah, this is a
Yeah.
problem. Like
All
well,
right.
you could
Oh yeah.
text.
Bite the bullet.
Why don't you text Paul and just text him?
Paul, I can text. He
Yeah,
won't call.
text him.
Right.
Text him while we're talking now, and See when he wants to do it. And
All right.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, just like I think you need to come up with a game plan. Uh, I think you're. I think I'm gonna get a handle on this because I've kind of
Right.
been uh, thinking about it for
Yeah.
the last day, and I'm actually trying to do something today. I think you need to. You're in big trouble.
Oh, I am. I've hit the trouble point. Yeah. No, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
Yep. All
Or
right. I got nothing else for you. You've depressed me now.
good. I'm done with you anyways.
All right. Yeah. Goodbye.
Adios.